Uganda National Examinations Board has decried the year 2021, describing the calendar as a disruptive one to their program of conducting, marking and releasing examinations due to the emergency COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, which squarely left the education sector down to its knees. According to the Executive Director, UNEB, Nockrach Odongo, the challenges that affected the education sector were caused by anticipated failure to adhere to the set standard operating procedures, like requirements to increase the number of invigilators, supervisors, scouts, markers and centers.
Social distancing in the marking centers. That now meant that UNEB had to secure more examination centers than usual. Whereas usually we have about 32 schools that host the marking. We had to acquire more, so we now had 40 marking centers. This also meant more money to pay the extra centers, and this also meant more money to pay for the security.
On the issue of the new lower secondary curriculum, UNEB says its proper implementation was affected by the lockdown on schools. According to UNEB, some teachers have adapted to this curriculum, which is competence-based, and those who have known and still think of using the old one need to know that the assessment is going to change.
Started from senior one. If we were operating normally, the senior threes for this year would now be, would have now had from senior 1, 2, and senior 3 following the new curriculum. And then the following year, we would have the first cohort of candidates who have been taught under the new curriculum would be taking their examinations. Right now, the Uganda National Examinations Board is training its own staff on competency-based assessment.
In another development on the issue of courts of law dismissing electoral petitions of members of parliament who forged academic documents on technicalities, UNEB says it's not right.
But forgery is a very clear offense under the penal code of this country. And the authorities, the powers that be, even when court dismisses the election petition over a technicality, the powers that be should take up this as a criminal aspect. I mean, they should look at the criminal aspect of it, not just the electoral aspect.
However, Nockrach was quick to acknowledge that UNEB has no powers in law to prosecute such people, but have the right to appear before courts of law as witnesses to testify about the authenticity of the documents in question. I'm Faridah Nanfunka and Sana Anet.